We're entering a special day of convergence here when two seemingly different belief systems kind of merge. We've got a Sabbath coming up and a full moon coming up. We're going to talk about that on this morning's Morning Love. Good morning and welcome to Morning Love, your daily dose of love, hope, and encouragement from here at Buckwheat Farms, Magic Emporium and Ballroom. Glad you're here with us. And please like and share. This morning, I want to talk about this special day that we're on. It's the beginning of, at sundown this evening will be Shabbat, the Sabbath in the traditional Jewish community. It's celebrated with a candle lighting that welcomes the spirit of Shabbat in, and then it's closed with a candle lighting that kind of escorts Shabbat out. And in between, there's this time of ceasing, of resting, of waiting, of contemplation, and you know, it has different traditional, even within the Jewish community, there are different levels of tradition that people carry out and different things that they do. But the main thing it's a time of contemplation on where we are, because we're always going somewhere, or we've always gotten somewhere, and we're seldom focused on where we are. And that's kind of interesting as we move into an overlapping kind of period, which is the time of the full moon. We're entering tonight, the full moon will appear, I believe this evening, maybe tomorrow evening. I'm not sure the exact time, but I know we're entering the time of the full moon. I kind of consider the days leading into and out of as the same. I kind of overlap my spiritual energy that I draw from these things. But with the full moon, the moon phases are kind of interesting because they overlap with this kind of idea of the Shabbat. So the full moon is the moon coming into existence, and there's an increase. It's at the height of its power, and from there on it decreases. And you know, as babies, we're kind of born into the height of our potential, and then it kind of goes downhill from there as we're taught what we can't do. And then we enter this time of a new moon when we kind of cease to exist, and as the Sabbath ceases to exist, and then we begin to re-energize and recharge as we move into the cyclical stage. And that's the message. That's the message of the moon. That's the message of Shabbat, is that life is cyclical. Not only our entire life is cyclical, not only are our months cyclical, but our days and our weeks and our days are cyclical. And they will come around, and we will continue to come around in those cycles. And too often, again, our focus is on out there or in here or back here. And so part of what I do here at Morning Love is to try to draw our focus on where we are right now. And here we are right now in a convergence of time where the full moon is rising in the sign of Virgo. Virgo, the Virgin, is kind of representation of the divine doorway. It's a doorway of creation. And often Virgo, of course, has this idea of getting everything in order, and of course it is kind of a time calling us to bring order to things. But I believe also it's as an earth sign, and the full moon, as you go forward into the full moon, after the full moon, as the energies are drawing down, it's the time to plant root plants, the plants that don't have a showing above ground for a long time. Any of you who planted potatoes, you know it takes forever for the little bitty, you know, and then you're piling on more materials, and then another little, as it shoots up a little more, you pile a little more materials on, and so forth, and you're constantly covering up your work. But there's all this work that's going on underground. This is the mycelial complex of mushrooms, all of the stuff that's underground is so strong and so powerful. And that's this time of the full moon is a time for us to draw down the energy of the moon, to draw down the energies of and to I believe this is a time that we have, it's an invitation to draw down the wisdom, the energies of the ethereal into the earth, into manifestation, to make our dreams come true. It's so easy, at least for me, to keep those dreams and ideas up here, because then I don't have to face, the reality. It's like, the idea of having a child until the child is born. I don't have to, the idea, I don't have to change dirty diapers. I don't have to feed. I don't have to be responsible. But here I do. But I believe at this point, this is a time of birthing, and we're ready. We're ready, whatever it is, whatever the vision it is, whatever the manifestation you desire, whatever it is that your intent is, now is a time for you to birth it. It is an open time. It's a time to go for it. It's the time to draw down those visions, those dreams into the real. It's the time for you to occupy the space between. It's a time for you not to look to the future about what could happen, what may happen, what you don't want to happen, and not to look at the past, what has happened, what I didn't want to happen, what I regret happening. It's time for you to focus right now on this space between, because that's where the rest is. And see, this Sabbath rest is not supposed to be, it's not even a cyclical 7-day period, because I believe that we can enter that and stay in that place of rest in our life as we quit chasing after what's to come, quit being bound, stop being bound, drop what's behind, and just rest in the space between. Namaste.